Thensider family. Thank you for joining me on another episode of The Thensider. I am so excited. This is a special edition, the roundtable. I know how much you guys love my roundtable, and I'm so excited about this one. We have a lot of lovely moms here on this episode. Hi, moms. Hi. Thank you guys for coming. I'm so excited about this. Let's start with Erica. We're going to start off introducing yourself and what you do.
My name is Erica Polanco Webb, and I'm a motherhood blogger, and I'm also a digital media consultant.
My name is Ryan Shaw, also known as the Boss's Lawyer. I am an attorney and real estate investor.
Awesome. Genesis.
My name is Genesis Emery. I'm the founder of the Little Dapper Collection and also a mommy brand called The More Genesis.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I am the founder of Women Unshaken. I also am the owner of Tax Prep Guides and Accounting.
Hi ladies, I'm Kayla. I'm a licensed esthetician, certified acne specialist, and professional makeup artist.
Hi, I'm Nisha. I am the founder of the Mogul Mom Network, and I am a lifestyle and business coach for moms.
Awesome. Got some great moms here. There'll be more joining us later, but I just wanted to bring you guys together and make a special Mother's Day edition of The Thensider, and just to have conversation because, you know, as moms, it can get taxing, you know, depending on what you got going on, your situation. Genesis, as far as I know, you have a single mom, and your son has special needs as well. How is that experience?
It's honestly been empowering for me. I was kind of nervous at first if I was going to be able to make it because I do so much. I have a full-time job as a marketing manager. I have 2 of my own businesses, and I'm a single mother, like Nadia said. So life can get overwhelming at times, but I pray a lot, and I just walk in my faith, and I know that I can do it. And it's really made me be a better mom, and it's really inspired me to be able to really commit myself to growing and empowering other people. And I know that since I've been able to do this, I can do anything and help other moms to do it too.
Yes. How about you, Nisha?
My daughter is going on 8, and so as a single mom, it was really discouraging because my outlook on single parenthood was completely different. Growing up in a household full of single moms, that's something I never wanted, and I always strayed against it. So it caused me to go through a lot of things that I really shouldn't have as she was growing up, but now as she's older, I just do what works for us. Like I'm always learning with her. As she grows, I'm learning. So it's just something that I had to just get used to and embrace it.
Nice. I love that. And let's get some opinions about married mothers. You can go, Kayla.
I'll be coming up on 4 years of marriage in July. So for me, honestly, when I first got married, I was like, we're not having no kids no time soon. And of course, as we always say, our thoughts aren't God's thoughts. But I wouldn't change it for the world. And one thing I will say is my husband is a major help, especially being allowing me to be a stay-home mom at that, and then pursue my desires and my dreams that God has allowed me to do full-time. My business has been tremendously a challenge, but when you have a man of God who supports you in everything you do, as long as it's in alignment with God's word and His will, He's on board with it. And again, me being that helped me, making sure I'm spiritually in line, my home is in alignment, and then therefore also I can be of help to my husband in the way God has His word for us to be.
Awesome. Love it. How about you, Danielle?
My husband and I are not the same religion, so that whole unequally yoked thing there, it was a struggle for us. But respect, being able to respect one another and teach our children that no matter what a person decided to do within their lives, that respect was vital. And with that, motherhood has been very challenging. So like you have to respect their opinions or their decisions because too they're human. Our kids were like, what should we believe?
Right.
You know, where should we go? So I felt like we were confusing them. So I told them, I said, hey, what Dad believes is what Dad believes. What Mom believes is what Mom believes. What do you believe? Like we believe you guys love each other. So that was very important for my husband and I, just to show them no matter what we decided to do, religion-wise, as long as we stayed together and we respected each other.
That's a good point. How about you, Ryan?
So, I bring an interesting perspective to this part of the conversation because some things have changed.
Okay.
I am a single mother.
Really? Wow. I'm so sorry.
Let's see, we've been separated for about maybe 8-9 months now, I would say.
Okay.
So it's definitely been challenging.
particularly with building a business
Right.
simultaneously. But God has been with me every step of the way.
Absolutely.
My faith has definitely made this possible.
Absolutely.
And, I just think that a lot of times we don't know what we're made of
That's so
until
true.
we're backed into a corner.
Yes. You have this vision in your head, how you picture your life is going to be, how you picture things that are going to go. And like Nisha said, you don't want that. You don't want to be like a single mom. But like you just said, you don't know what you're made of. And that's like the beauty of it, You don't know how strong you are until you have to be, with a superwoman, or we're supposed to be. And, we have feelings too. We have our moments. We want to break down, punch a wall. Like, we're not perfect. So I know you have, how many kids?
I have 5 children.
5.
Yes, we have a blended family. So it's been pretty busy, but I'll definitely say, having, communication between my husband and I is very important. Making sure that we are in alignment, making sure that we're on one accord has definitely been what has helped me, what has helped our family and, our careers. And, I just like to say, it's never easy being a mom, and I kind of have a lot of different perspectives. I was a teen mom. I was a single mom at one point. Now my husband's son has special needs, so he has cerebral palsy. He can't walk and talk. So now I'm a special needs mom. And so, so I have these teenagers, I have this baby, and it's a lot. But I just make sure, I just try to plan and just put my best foot forward. It's not perfect, and it won't be, but God has me, and I know that we're covered, and I know as long as that we respect one another, and we, have the same agenda, that things will be okay.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it.
How is that, because I didn't know that was your husband's son with the special needs.
So it's so funny how things kind of, evolve over time. I met my husband in college at the time. His son was 3. My daughter was 3 at the time. And so I would have never thought we would have had him full time because, if it's a special needs child, you just automatically assume that they're going to just stay with their mom. But over time, things have changed, circumstances change. Luckily, I had already been exposed to special needs. I have a cousin. She's a lot older than I, and she has cerebral palsy. She was not as severe as my son, but I had been exposed to it, so it wasn't something that was foreign. I've learned so much, been so inspired by him and my journey with being a mom. I take nothing for granted. Even though he was born that way, I've been educated so much on cerebral palsy and those kinds of things. And, you don't have to be born that way. You can get in a bad car accident. It can be anybody's child who this happens to. And I think that just gave me a broader perspective, and it's very humbling. So I actually can't see it any other way now. We've been married for 5 years in July. But we've been together so long, so it's just been so much a part of my journey as a mother, especially in adulthood, that it's situation normal. So.
Wow, that's pretty grand. I can go back to that. Yes, right, yes. So, just hearing some of your stories from then, everybody's situation is different, but the one thing that I realized just from reading all of everybody's stories is how strong, you women are, like moms are. I see so many women taking the lead, in their family, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So I want to start with Genesis. What are some of the misconceptions you've gotten as like a parent, a single parent?
I would say for me, like being a single mother, I did that out of choice. I just felt that my child's father wasn't designed to be in my life. It was only for a season and a reason. So as I decided to walk on my faithhood to be a single mother, it's honestly upgraded my life for the better. And I think if we would have stayed together, those blessings wouldn't have been possible for me. When we were together, we were always struggling. The moment I walked away and I decided to be a single mother and raise Noah on my own, because I do raise Noah on my own every day, I bought a brand new home. I bought a brand new car down to the year, make, and model that I wanted. My business expanded. I got the job of my dreams. My income expanded. My faith expanded. Everything in my life turned out and made a complete 180 since I did that. I've never in my life asked to be blessed and not have received a blessing.
Right.
So if he's blessed me with everything else, why would he not bless me with this baby? And he made me know his mother because he knew that I could do it. I didn't expect to have a child with special needs, but he gave it to me because he felt that I was the only mother for Noah. And like I said, ever since then, it's been fine. So I'm not a bitter single mother. I'm not a sad single mother. I feel empowered. I feel inspired. And I feel like this is my greatest gift. And it's made me be the woman that I was destined to be. I don't need a man around in my life right now to make me feel complete. I'm a whole person and a God-fearing person with or without that. I do want to be married in the future. But at this particular point in my life, I'm focusing on my goals, staying close to God, and just walking in my purpose and in my favor. And I'm content with that.
Yes. I love that. I love how you was just like, I chose myself basically over, anything else. And your son, of course. So that's a big thing to do, because man, you don't know what that looks like after you choose, like when you like, okay, this relationship is toxic, it's not good, I need to go, and you choose that route. Then anybody else wants to chime in? Go ahead, Zane.
I do. As a wife. Now, I've been with my husband together 19 years, but we've only been married 9. And one of the biggest, and like Erica, I had 4 kids prior to meeting my husband. Okay. Then we had 2 together, and then he had 3. So it's 11 of us.
Wow.
So
love it.
we're like the Brady Bunch. Yeah. But I used to remember people like making me feel so bad. You're a kept woman. You don't have to do anything. You have help. And all of these things. I used to be like, no, I have some times where I just be like, I feel like a single mom. And then I'm like, why do I say that? What's this whole misconception of a single mom and wife? We put too many barriers and we separate ourselves. And now you don't want to be a married one because we're the kept. I don't want to be single because we got these bad conceptions about the single women. Yeah. And for me, I just was like sad. Like, I'm married, but at times, my husband gonna kill me for this. But at times, I felt like alone as a parent. Yeah. Parenting my kids, doing everything, right? All alone. But as their mom, it's just a different type of thing that we do. We're the nurturers, we protect, and we're their everything. They're my everything. So my husband was just a provider. That's what he came in, that's what he did. He provided, he made sure and ensured we had everything. I was heart's desire. But I didn't have the person going with me to the doctor's visits. Or the person that was fixing the tub or the toilet. He just paid.
I want to talk about you guys, because I know you work from home and you work from home. So how is that? I mean, because I feel like that's a misconception of itself. Like everything is just to run smoothly. You guys are, you guys are good.
It's so funny because my goal as a blogger influencer is to be very authentic, not to share pictures to make you jealous, and not to share footage to make you feel like, oh, why can't I do it? It's more to empower you. And
you both do that really well too. I just want to say.
I just want to put it out there that it is difficult. I can be on a call and I'm like, okay, let me run in here, and I got the computer. I look like a damsel in distress, right? I'm running in one room just so that when it's time for me to speak, they don't hear my kids in the background, and it's not as easy, and it's not like it's just this perfect life. Everyone has this new thing is being a mom boss, and be your own boss, and you have all this flexibility, and while you do have flexibility, it does come with a lot of work. Being a mother, period, is a lot of hard work.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter what kind of mom you are.
I got pregnant in college, so my junior year. So it was not easy, walking around campus with the belly, and it seemed like I was the only one pregnant at the time. So I really felt like I was alone, and it wasn't planned, of course. So, and I was just, all this stuff was going through my mind. I'm like, I'm going to be a disappointment to my parents. I remember, the hardest time was, being unemployed, after I graduated from college, being unemployed, and then just not knowing, how I was going to provide, as a single mom. And then just, having this child depend on you. And she's little. My daughter's like 1 at the time, and it's still a struggle at times. It's still a struggle, but it's always, with prayer, with faith, it's always a brighter side of things. I feel like all the time.
I would add too. I know for me, like with growing up, my parents are still married to this day, and they've been married going on, I want to say, like 20 years almost. So my example of what marriage looked like was always biblical. And for me, when I got engaged, that was what my mom instilled in me was, when you're about to embark on marriage, which is a wonderful thing, but just know that my prayer is that I instilled in you that if this is the man of God that God has placed before you to let him take the responsibilities and the roles that God has put in alignment in his word for a man to be, but also know that he doesn't expect you to be Superwoman. My husband says the same thing, and it's so weird because my husband wasn't in my household growing up. I never told my husband those things. He said some of the similar things that I've heard over countless times my father say to my mom when she felt like she had to do this, and be all over the place and juggling everything. He would always tell her, Lolita, I don't expect you to be Superwoman. All I ask is that, whatever you say you're going to take the responsibility of, that it gets done. And if it's not, again, communication. Communicate with me that I was unable to get this done today, or, my mom's worked since her whole life. And for me, as a stay-at-home mom, and also being, my business is at home. So it's like, for me, I never get outside my four walls. It feels like I'm always in the house. And when I do, I'm just like, ooh, let me enjoy this. But I am so grateful that God created him specifically for me, because he showed me that, the way in which the world says how a woman is supposed to be biblically, it's fine if you want to do it yourself, but just know that I got you. I don't expect you to do this by yourself, because I was created for you to help you, and vice versa. So he's very, very supportive of everything that I do. And mind you, we only have a 1-year-old, and one child, but he's 2 years old. But sometimes I do feel like I may be alone, but then I have to remind myself, like, is that me telling myself I'm alone?
Right.
Because I've heard countless times him tell me you're not alone. And of course, I just again communicating. I'm telling my husband, like, today I feel like I was so alone, and even times I feel like I'm breaking down, or I just feel overloaded with so much stuff. This business is starting to take off for me, which I'm so grateful for. But my son, he sees that example. So one time I was crying. I went in the bathroom and I was just crying and just oh my God, I feel like I'm all over the place, anxious. I have no peace. Oh my God, I know that's not you, because you can be peace. So where am I wrong? What am I trying to do? Am I putting on too many hats, or am I trying to do too much? Show me myself before I can go blame my husband, blame my child. Show me.
And I want to credit you, Nisha, because you're like the advocate of moms. She talks to moms and just really gives her all to helping other moms just grow with their business.
Like, what I've learned with working with moms is we feel that we need to do every single thing on our to-do list. And the moment that something does not get done, or the moment that we can't complete something, we get so discouraged, and that's when we kind of down talk ourselves. And something that I try to educate and be an advocate for is just do what works for you. So I just try to be very transparent in showing that, although we're all trying to get to a certain level of success, the journey for you may look different. You are faced with different things. So you just have to learn what works for you. You have to learn what you enjoy. You have to learn what you don't enjoy. And we get so caught up in what to post. Like, what are we going to do? Can I do this? Can I post this? This person is doing that. And that'll cause you as well to be like, I'm not doing enough. I need to go forward. So you just really have to just unplug and disconnect, because that's what I actually just did. I didn't delete the apps, but every time I found myself clicking on it, I would just pray. And that really, really, really helped me. So sometimes, again, it may not look like, oh, I need to go to a nail shop, I need my back rub, I need my feet rub, but just going into prayer or just finding peace within is what will really help you. And it'll give you a clear head, like, oh my goodness, a clear head on what you should be doing.
Absolutely. Awesome. So, but thank you guys so much. You guys had awesome conversations. You guys have a round of applause. You guys had some great conversation, and we are going to add a few more moms to the mix. So, stay tuned. Okay, guys, we have 2 new faces joining us right now. We have Tiara and Miss Carly. Can you guys please introduce yourselves? I'm with Tiara.
Absolutely. Hi, my name is Tiara Burden. I'm a mommy of 3. I am a personal banker / teller, whatever you want to call me. I work in finances, and I also run a mommy blog called Concealing a Prayer Life. So I am an advocate for maternal mental health and having mothers, live their best lives. I feel like as moms, I want to create a safe space for us to just be. I really believe in the holistic healing of mothers. I feel like if we are whole moms, we create whole healed children. So that is my heartbeat with Concealing a Prayer Life, just really advocating for mental health and healing for moms.
Awesome. Love it. Carly.
Awesome. My name is Carly Butler. I'm mom to 7-year-old Zaylin, who is super active and keeps me on my toes. By day, I'm director of social services for a nonprofit organization, so I work with youth. And by night, I run a blog called burnbeauty.com, just sharing my experiences as a survivor of violence and helping women to really feel confident and love themselves, no matter what they look like on the outside, and focus more on the inside.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you for joining us, ladies. And we left off with just the misconceptions of being a single mother or being a married mother. So you guys have some misconceptions you guys run into as like married mother, single mother, anything?
Oh, absolutely. Just for me, I had a misconception going into it, so I didn't know what like motherhood / wife life would look like. I thought, okay, because I'm still working, so it's like I thought, once you have the kids, you come off your job, and it's like you just stay with your kids, stay at home mom. But then for me, it's a totally different story. It's like, no, we're a 2-income family.
Right.
We still gotta work. We can, sacrifice here and there. But I think for me, I didn't know what that would look like. It's like, can I still be a wife and be a mother? Can I still be a wife, mother, and have a full-time job? Like, what does that look like? So I think defining it for me has been the challenge, and not falling into the trap of comparison of what the next married mom would look like. Because I do have married friends who are stay-at-home moms, and I'm like, I don't know what that life is like.
Right.
I've been stay-at-home mom for all 3 months I've been on maternity leave. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's what that is to me. That's my experience of being a stay-at-home mom. But yeah, I had to overcome my own misconception of what I thought it would be, and just be okay with, you get to define what it's going to be for you.
Well, I am a single mom, and that was never my plan for my life, and so I never imagined that for myself, but here we are, and I'm doing the absolute best that I can.
You're doing an awesome job.
Some days I'm a hot mess, and I'm just trying to keep it together. Other days I'm like, damn, okay, I'm doing pretty good. Now, if I had a husband, when the right person finds me, chooses me, right?
Yes.
And it would be right. Until then, I'm just living and loving on my son.
Yes, and you're doing an awesome job, and you're one that's really transparent in your parenting and just your life in general. And I really admire that, and to see you raise your son and just in your story behind everything, it's just inspires me. You already know inspires me, so that's great. And Ryan, who said off camera, but can you just go into your misconception, because I really love it.
So the misconception I think that resonates the most with me is that you are stalled, or that being a single mom will stall you career-wise or with your goals. That's how I was raised. My mom was a single mom, and she wasn't the best mom either. So I grew up with a different type of perspective on single motherhood. So transitioning into that was particularly hard for me because I had that mental barrier of how horrible this is and all the things it's going to do to me. But again, my faith is really, really, really strong. And so when I quit my job and, went out there, it was because God told me to do it. And so I told myself, because really what I was debating was okay, I'm becoming a single mom. I have quit my job. I've dumped thousands and thousands of dollars into this business because I don't believe in half-assing anything. If I'm going to do it, it's going to be right. Yes. So I put a lot of money and a lot of time into it, and I did it because God told me to. And I thought to myself, because I'm very close to my grandfather, and so he told me, he said, "Is this the right time?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "But you got this going on, you got that going on. Oh, also one of my buildings, randomly lost 2 tenants. All of this happened simultaneously. And from there, this super nice building, right? This super nice building in a really good area that's never been vacant is now mostly vacant.
Wow.
For like 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
Unheard of, right? It takes like all of a week to usually rent those units. So all of this is happening simultaneously. So at this point, I'm bleeding money. And I didn't say this on camera, but when I initially made the plan to quit my job and start my business, I was depending on him having a substantial income to be able to, for us to sustain.
Yeah.
So that evaporated. So now the money that's coming in is just now the money going out. There's no money coming in. And my grandfather's like, this isn't a good time. You got too much going on. I said, it's the perfect time.
Yeah.
It's the perfect time.
Yeah.
Because God knew that this was coming for me. I didn't know. But God knew that that was how this would play out when he told me to do it.
Yeah.
So for me, he said what he said.
Yeah.
He said, quit your job, start your business. And it has not been easy, but it's been worth it. And it was a struggle because, you know, you're trying to get your name out there. You're trying to really figure out how to interact. I've been a lawyer for 10 years. I never owned a law firm. So now this is a whole new skill set that has to be developed, which I was aware of. But now we ain't got that much time. You know, I thought we would have a year to just kind of figure things out and gradually. And you do when you got a whole another 6-figure income and out. But when that disappears, it's like, okay, what now? And I have to say, I became more flexible. Like, I literally felt God walking with me every day. And I would pray for things, and they would come. Wow. On time. On time. Single motherhood is not a hindrance. It does not hinder me. I think it's really transformed me. And it might have brought me to, you know, from being on the brink of who God wanted me to be, I think it catapulted me into being that person.
Oh, that's a perfect statement into like feeling that mom guilt and like we were about to discuss and the feeling of sacrificing that we do make as moms, as parents, you know, but as moms, it seems to come like more often. Because if I tell you I need a job, so I have to turn down because just thinking about, you know, my daughter, you know, like, well, I can't move here now. I have support here, you know, or just like this job will the hours will pull me away from her. Like I used to for Channel 7 News for 2.5 years. Like I was definitely blessed for the opportunity, but news wasn't really what I wanted. You know, it was a great experience to get in there and learn. And, you know, I feel like I'm gonna burn out my mom because she has her all the time to late in the like I'll get them at 12. Almost in the morning, so I had to sacrifice. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I left, because she was going into kindergarten. I was like, I want to be there, you know, for her to do homework, you know, to watch her grow, to, you know, that was what was important to me, and you know, that was a sacrifice I had to make. And then I know I still kind of have mom guilt as far as like traveling, like going on trips and stuff without her. Like, I feel like the biggest mom guilt all the time. Like if I want to like travel or go somewhere, like for me, I don't travel a lot, so I'm like, why am I feeling this way? I never go anywhere. So like, why am I feeling this way? And he was like, I think he was like, you know, you need a break sometime. Like it's okay. Like, and that's what I have to get. But I don't know. What is your like?
So I travel often. I travel often because that's my therapy sometimes, and I'm always willing to learn, and I'm willing to travel to learn. And my story is crazy because it's similar to all of y'all's story, where when my daughter was younger, I left a toxic relationship to come back to Chicago with absolutely nothing. Like, oh, I'm going home for the weekend. I was in college, and I left for the weekend and never went back. And so at that time, I felt like, okay, I'm a single parent. I need to provide. And so as she got older and I started making those decisions. Like, I can't put my life on hold. I have to just take her along with me through this journey. And so as she got older, I was able to kind of explain to her, like, Mommy is going, and I got her so excited about it. Like, guess what? Mommy is going to this place, and I bought her a map, and we point the places out. Like, this is what we are doing, and I'll be back on this day. And because I was able to explain it to her, she understands. Now, she don't agree all the time. And so I actually went to Paris, and now that's in her head. Like, oh, I need to go to Paris. I want to go to Paris. So to get her excited and not get discouraged, I tag her along, like, look, Leah, we're saving for your Paris trip. And so she gets, it's kind of horrible because I get her excited for it. So when I do it, she understands. And I make sure I show her all of this so that when it comes time for me to, you know, go solo, she understands. Because it's extremely important, because a lot of times we just talk at them. Like, look, I am doing this. Don't question me. You just need to understand, and that's that. And they're confused. So I think really breaking it down, and sometimes you just have to go. You just have to know that you are doing it, because you can't take care of them if you're not whole. And you can't take care of them if you're overwhelmed, if you're stressed. So even when you're feeling that mom guilt, and you just need to maybe just take a day, like, it's okay. It's okay for you to kind of refuel. Like, we get so caught up into everything else that we find it so hard for us to just take time to breathe. By me having that open door communication, it helps me. Now, mom guilt is something, even now when she's turning 8, I still deal with, because I feel like, am I putting more time in my business? Do I need to spend more time with her? But it's something that some days I'm going to be able to spend more time with her, some days I'm not. Some days I'm going to be able to, you know, have more time for my business, and some days I'm not. And once you really find out, again, what works for you, it helps you deal with it better.
And I think it comes down to the, you know, you love them, you know. If you show it every day, you know, you might not have to, you can't spend that time every day, you know, with them one-on-one. But I feel like if you show, you know, any way that you show that you love them, they will know. I feel like we're harder on ourselves, and we're like, are we doing a good job? And, you know, if we don't hear it, it's saying like, oh, you're the best mom, or, you know, if we kind of second guess, like, are we doing, you know, what we're supposed to do?
One of the things I had to learn was how to build a village for us, because we spend a lot of time together, because that's just our life. So sometimes we'll be like, I don't want to go. I'm like, look, this is us. All right, there's nobody else to watch you, and so that's why you come with me. And so I try to also kind of incorporate him into the things that I'm doing, at least show him. That's why he comes to so many of my talks and my events, so that it won't be so boring. But it's hard, to, you know, that being able to, it's a blessing for you to be able to leave your daughters, your mom. And my moms are here, so I have to be very creative. And then with the work that I do as a social worker, it's like makes me hyper aware of the bad in the world, and so I'm very funny about very particular about who I will let him stay with.
I get that, definitely.
I think it's very important that our children see us loving up on ourselves. So whatever that looks like, if it's vacationing, if it's meditation, or if it's just getting away and being able to explain to them certain things, it is very, very important, because that's how we build healthy kids.
Good modeling.
And so the sacrifice for me was to be vulnerable in front of my kids, because I felt like I had to be the strong mom. I couldn't allow them to see me break. You know, I lost my son, and my baby came and told me that he had never told me like that. Mommy's gonna cry. It hurts, yes, and be authentic. It does. It hurts very bad. And you tell them that. It hurts. He was my firstborn son. And you tell them, you're going to see me cry. You're going to see that, because I'm hurting. But I'll be okay. And you let them see all of that.
too, especially with, I've had 2 miscarriages, and I've always wanted to be one that, like, speaks about it. I'm like, you know, I can't talk about this because I've only been a mom for this amount of years, and, you know, even with the whole motherhood thing, it makes you feel like, because you don't have the length, the years, that you don't have the impact. And it's like, okay, well, this is what God told me to do. I'm going to talk about it. This is stuff, still taboo topics that people don't like to talk about. Again, in the Black community, I didn't learn about a miscarriage until I was having one. Like, it was just the information that was not given. And then, of course, me wanting to speak about, even with the maternal mental health, it's like, okay, I'm not a counselor, I'm not in school for this, but it's like I've overcome postpartum depression. I've overcome just depression at a young age. I feel like if you overcome something, you're a conqueror, you can be the expert at it. God brought you to do that so that you don't have to leave somebody else to start for that. The thing that helped me with mommy guilt is one of my favorite scriptures too. It's like, you know, we're made new. We're not condemned. We're not, you know, bound by guilt and shame anymore. He came to clean us from that. So it's like anytime I feel like guilt is coming in, I have to cancel it out with the truth. So it's like, okay, I'm spending too much time on a horrible mom. Okay, what did God say about me today? What did God say about you today? You're going to let this guilt, this lie, you know, kind of trap you, because guilt traps you.
I'm glad that the topic of self-care is so prominent now. You know, it's out there and people are like pushing it. It's like it's important, mental health, you know, because, you know, I feel like our parents had that. You know, it was there, you know, but they didn't deal with it. And, you know, I see my mom now, like, well, just her wanting to do more, and she's like, oh, can you help me start a blog and everything? I'm like, sure, of course, you know. And, you know, she wants to, because she's an amazing drawer or artist. She writes poems and everything, and I always told her when I was in high school, like, you should open up your own business, like, you know, before I was even knew about entrepreneurship. And it's like, you should get your own cafe or like a spoken word place, you know. But I don't know, she's, you know, my little brother's about to graduate college, so she's kind of focused on that. But, you know, I kind of wish, like, dang, you know, you could have had this. You know, I don't know, in my mind, I'm like, I wanted to, like, kind of push her. But to wrap it up, does anyone want to give any advice for first-time moms or moms who are dealing with the same, you know, situations as you guys?
Give yourself grace to try, space to mess up. Like, we are not going to get it all at the same time.
Right.
And replace the word balance with grace. Because I really feel like for a lot of us, we try the balance thing. It's like, I get that a lot. Like, how do you balance it all? It's like, I don't. I really don't. It's like, I replace that. Literally had to learn to replace that word with grace, because something's going to fall. And I have to be okay and make sure I'm not the one that's falling apart when it does fall. So it's like grace gives us room to like really try it and like give yourself the space to mess up. Like,
I guess I would just say to trust God, keep going. You know, all things work for the good of those who serve the Lord. There's no condition in front of, you know, all things, not all good things, not all comfortable things, not all the things you expected, not all the things you planned. Be less concerned with how God makes it happen and focus strictly on the fact that He's going to make it happen.
Yes.
I like you when you say you were creating a village. So I think it's really imperative. We all talk faith. It looks like we all are definitely faith-driven. But I definitely believe you have to have a village. You have to create something, someone that can help you. You have to have those people to be able to call in the middle of the night and talk to, or someone you could just call to come, I need you to get the baby. I need you. I'm about to have an emotional breakdown. And with that, when you do that, you now let down your guards and without help.
As a parent, protect your peace. And what I mean, so I think that we become not only nurturers for our children, but for everyone around us, that sometimes we already have a full plate, and then everybody put their issues on our plate as well, and we take those issues on, and sometimes you just have to really just protect your space, your energy, and your peace. Like, no is the sentence, no is the answer. So don't get discouraged when you can't take on another person's issue, problem, or help them with whatever they're going through. Sometimes you have to stay focused on what it is that you're, you know, maybe struggling with. So don't be discouraged when you can't help somebody else, and don't let them discourage you because you can't help them. It's okay.
Well, thank you so much, the Thensider family. I am so happy I have these beautiful women, moms here with me. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Thensider, and that is a wrap. Yay! And happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Have a wonderful day.
Genesis, and I'm the president of the Little Dapper Collection. I started the Little Dapper Collection because I wanted to create a brand to revolutionize the way that parents dress their kids. I wanted to inspire the way that parents dress their little boys and help groom them to become gentlemen and create a positive image in our society.
I am a gentleman. 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 One.